Hey guys, in today's video, we're gonna do an impact snap training aid review. Hey guys, in today's video, we're gonna talk about the impact snap, and here with us, you guys are in for a treat. Here's my buddy, Marty Nowicki. Marty, welcome.
Eric, good to be with you.
We're out here at the Bethlehem Golf Club like normal. Marty's been nice enough to come down, and what I want you guys to see, for those of you that have been under a rock and haven't seen the impact snap before, at least be aware of it, and then also kind of talk about what it's meant for, how to use it, and really what my thoughts are as we go through. So Marty owns the impact snap. Marty, if we want to tell you a little bit about what the impact snap is, and then we'll get into how to use it.
Sure. It's a release trainer, 4-time Golf Digest best training aid. So
nice,
we have a little
love
bit of credibility.
Yeah.
We're used by a lot of top instructors. And basically it trains the wrist how to repeat what I would call a correct, stable position at impact and beyond impact, where the way it's designed, we have this yellow ball. If it hits the bottom of the trail forearm, you're doing it correctly. If the ball misses, well, that would be flipping or rolling or twisting or whatnot.
Yep.
So in short form, I just tell people, okay, swing it forward and get the ball to hit the bottom part of the forearm, which creates a correct impact and post-impact. And then we have a load capability. So there's a sliding weight.
Love it.
Goes up and down. So I don't want to be an early caster back here.
Yeah.
I want to hear that weight shoot out where the ball would be, or even slightly after, and then I've got a checkpoint for, did the ball hit the bottom of the trail forearm? So it's really a pass-fail class that if it hits, you're doing it correctly. If it misses, you're not doing it correctly.
So it's really like an all-encompassing release trainer. Is that fair?
It would be.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, are so confused on what the word release is. Kind of the simplest way I can think about it would be releasing the angle between the forearm and the shaft.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
So, and in doing so with golf, because we have a flat edge that we're putting into a round object, that involves cocking and uncocking the wrist as the arm swings forward. So as I uncock it, I also have to do 2 other moves just to square a club face. I have to flex my wrist to some degree, barring what kind of grip I employ.
Yep.
And then I need some amount of supination or rotation of the forearm, barring what kind of grip. So if I have a stronger grip, I don't need as much rotation.
Okay, yes,
but if I have a neutral grip or a weak grip, I'm going to need more flexion.
Right.
And which is bowing for people that don't know what flexion is. And then supination would be the lead arm, your left arm, moving in a counterclockwise fashion, rotating in a counterclockwise fashion. So
for those of you that missed that we've talked about in our videos before, notice how he said the grip pattern that you take is going to change your wrist angles, and we've done a lot of videos on we kind of break it down into 3 movements during your downswing, right? And that to me is what it sounds like we'll be learning there. Is there's the ulnar, right, the unhinge,
uncocking,
there's some of that
flexion or bowing, and then some amount of supination, barring what kind of grip. Now, basically what that does is it puts your wrist in a real stable position. Boom.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're going to hit me or hit a golf ball, well, we want the wrist bone to be slightly forward.
I wouldn't go like this.
No, I hope not.
Right, and get injured while we're here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's learning that release pattern. It's learning those 3 distinct movements during the downswing, right?
Yes.
And sometimes when we do the videos, some of those things can get a little micro and complicated. What I love about that is it turns it into a simple feel.
Yes.
Turns into a simple feel.
And I'd say, what's important is some people will feel it with their left hand. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and take your grip.
Yep.
Or basically hold your right hand up to me.
Yep.
Okay. Push me. Good. You feel how much leverage you have when this wrist is bent back.
Absolutely.
So now, actually, let's turn that way. So when that wrist is bent back and it moves forward, and I take your left hand and I just put your thumb where it belongs, boy, that stabilizes the whole thing. So
yes, it does.
As the golfing machine said, boy, the connection of the right palm to the left thumb is pretty important to stabilize not just the left wrist, but the right wrist has a big role too.
Love that.
So we wouldn't want to be like this through impact.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Which we see all too often.
Yes.
We see all the time.
Not on tour though.
Not on tour, exactly. And that brings us to the next point of really what this is, right? Is and I say release, we can say whatever term, right? But it's kind of step 1 from my perspective of learning how to hit the ball solid consistently.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's building a foundation to do everything else. So Yeah, what we would normally see, let's do a couple and I'll hit a couple.
Sure.
What we would normally see in some way, shape, or form during the downswing, right, would be some combination of sort of this early.
Correct.
Right? We'd see this maybe late.
Yeah.
We'd see elbows apart,
Sure.
right? All of
when
this.
When we're hitting on mats, you might be able to get away with that ball.
Right.
But you'll hear a thud, then a click.
That's it.
And when you do it correctly, it's going to make a whole different sound because now you're using more of the club
How it's
face.
supposed to.
Yeah.
So let me pop that in and let's do
Sure.
a couple where I see if I learn how to use it right. So when I take my setup position, I've got the impact snap down the middle.
Correct.
Got the club face in front of me, then I have the ball on the side.
Yep.
So I'm going to take my normal grip with that up.
Correct.
And then what do I do from here?
Right there, I would just say swing it forward and have the ball hit the bottom of the trail form. Boom.
Got it.
So what we've done is we've secured this wrist angle, and what I call the radius, or the distance from your left shoulder to the end of the club.
Gotcha.
Okay? So we can't make that measurement any longer.
So let's say it
Yep.
one more time. So from here to there, we've got the left wrist angle,
Correct.
the right wrist angle,
Yep.
and then we've got the distance from the shoulder to the club head of the radius.
Yes.
Length.
What I
Perfect.
just call the radius.
Love it.
The longest that measurement's going to be is just after impact.
Yeah. And if I could control 3 things in the follow through that I wanted to hit a ball well,
Right.
it would be those 3, yeah?
Those 3 things. And so what I tell people is, okay, let's get a few reps in, and then
Yep.
we'll hit a few shots where this will be your stopping point.
Excellent.
And a lot of people are like, well, what about my follow through? And kind of the easiest way to define this is your follow through. The moment that both arms straighten out.
This is it.
That
And then
follow through. And then after that is called finish.
yeah, kind of whatever you want to
However
do.
you finish,
It's
know?
like get from here, get to that spot,
Yes.
right? First, and then we'll do the rest later.
Correct.
So, okay, so I like this. So if I take my setup, the ball's back here. I'm trying to get that under my right forearm.
Yep.
And if I did it incorrectly, that would be sort of this way, right?
Correct. And
This
the
would be,
ball won't hit your forearm.
or this could be under here, basically anywhere but the under part of my, right?
got it.
Okay.
You
So,
got it. There are a lot of ways of doing it incorrectly, but one way of doing it very correctly.
which I like is it takes all those micro parts and puts it into one. So I would do a couple rehearsals with that first, right? My objective is to get that underneath my forearm, and I know I've done it correctly, simple feel. And then I would do a couple kind of little shorties, then put a club in and hit a couple, right?
Absolutely.
So I do a couple training reps, maybe like just hip high, little shorties,
Absolutely.
just to get a sense of that.
Yeah.
Good. And then there's my feel. So now I'm going to grab my club,
Yep.
and I start to try and transfer that same sort of feel, right?
Correct.
And
I
so
encourage people, do this at slower speeds. I see too many people out here just whipping
Full
the
swing,
ball.
full speed.
Full swing, full speed, right off
Right off the bat.
It's like, let's train.
yeah, step 1. So I'm going to hit a little chip shot here first.
Perfect. Not only do you have the feedback of the ball, it sounded
It felt
really
solid. Yep.
You've got the feedback of, hey, look at that.
I'm actually
the
have
distance from my shoulder to the end of the club is pretty much maxed out, or my lowercase y is still intact.
And so the distance from the left shoulder to the club versus like here would be a lot shorter.
Well, sure. The
Right.
shorter that distance gets,
And probably
the
here.
more unstable the club gets, and the more the club face is going to be changing.
Closing. Yep, gotcha.
Or just changing in general.
Gotcha.
So when that maxes out, then the club face stays stable longer.
Yeah, nothing
Which is
good
what-
coming the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. And so what I really like about that, even just doing 1 or 2 of them, is, and this isn't true for all training aids I've used, I can feel that, I can transfer that feel really easily, right? So when I hit that, and the grip, I think, and the weight of the club mirrors this. When I put this club in my hand, I literally feel when I'm doing that, even after only doing a couple reps, like I can have that ball underneath my forearm, which is, to me, huge, being able to correlate that feel when we do. So let me do one more. I felt good that first one. So I'm trying to feel that same pattern here. Let's do one more. Yeah, and that to me feels really crisp.
Yeah.
And so the procedure would be, I'm gonna get the impact snap out, I'm gonna do a couple reps, I'm gonna hit a couple. I have feedback by contact, which is nice, it's 1-to-1,
Yeah.
right? I have feedback by contact, and then I really just have feedback by like, did I get here,
Right.
right?
Right. And I tell people that have never been there before, it's like, I don't care if you shank it or top it or whatnot, because you've never been in this position before.
That's it.
So, keep finding that position. You can then measure yourself. That way you don't have to film every single swing and say, did I do it? Well, if you stop right there, you can do it.
Simple, yeah, we like simple.
Yeah.
Get the ball underneath the forearm, hit that follow through spot, train that in, start slow, build your way up.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
people don't realize, I mean, you just watch the PGA Tour any weekend
Yeah.
where some guy is in the trees and can't follow through. They can still advance the ball a long distance because they understand what impact is going to be all about. And we call that a punch shot, and that's what we train our students to become better at. And when they get better at it, their whole game gets better.
Yeah, if you can't do that, the odds of you hitting it consistently solid are extremely low.
Agreed.
Yeah. So guys, impact snap, love how I can transfer the feel from that instantly to as I'm hitting balls. And I'm sure as I do that, and I would increase the reps and do that, the 10, 20, 30 swings like I recommend all the time, as I swing longer with speed, I'd supplement some feedback with video. Love that I can take that right out of my bag, come on and hit balls with it right away. If you guys are interested in checking out the impact snap, which I would genuinely highly recommend, we'll put a link in the description down below. If you use the coupon code ECGolf, you get a discount as well. So Marty, thanks for stopping by. We're gonna do some stuff here, and I'm sure we're gonna train a little bit more, but love the impact snap, and thank you for being here, man.
Thank you, pal.
You got it,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you liked the video, do us a favor, click the like button down below. Click the notification bell. Also, please subscribe if you haven't. Another reminder, every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are live here on YouTube for Rapid Fire Golf. We'd love to see you guys there.